Hey guys, it's Sunday. Welcome to our first rendition of Sundays with Smo. I am your host, Ty Brown, aka the Merch Guy. So we have some pre-written questions this week that I'm going to go over and just answer, and we'll have some fun. Alright, so why are we here? Here is actually the home of our President Connor, where we have partied before. What we're here to do is pretty much get you guys information in a fun way. Boom. Who am I? What does it mean to be the merch guy? What doesn't it mean to be the merch guy is really the better answer. I take on a whole lot of duties, from making sure everyone's in uniform to just making sure everyone looks good in their uniform, tip-top shape, just kind of a whole ordeal like that. Who's the hottest cartoon character? This is where it gets interesting. I want to go with my gut instinct, Lola from Space Jam, because if you haven't seen Space Jam, you're wrong. And if you have seen Space Jam, you just know that I'm right. Hottest guy in Smo, Tyler Hickey. Just that facial hair, just everything he brings to the table, really all around good dude. Oh man. My favorite spot at OU has to be Nelson, just the Nelson cafeteria, because it means it's usually smudge. It means I'm getting free food and hanging out with the boys. Just a good old location at campus. Is there a song I want Smo to sing this year? I would love to do like Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel, just because that is a rad song. And I think it's something we could pull off really well. I hear there's a little Beatles somewhere in the mix being... I don't know though, I don't want to say too much because I don't have all the information. I don't want to leak anything on our first episode without D Hall's seal of approval. But yeah, I would say Simon and Garfunkel would be who I'd want to do. Which decade would you want to live in if you could time travel? Probably the 50s, just because smoking inside seemed so much cooler back then. Everyone was doing it. Like, we could go back even farther. Like, it'd be cool if I could pick any era. We go like, when was Genghis Khan around? Could I roll with him? Could I be a Mongolian? Okay. Coke or Pepsi? That's not even a question. I would like to actually thank Pepsi for bringing me here today. I'd like to thank Walmart while I'm at it. It's pretty much just been the greatest goal of mine to host a web series, pretty much only be viewed by half of my closest friends. So it's pretty great. I'd like to thank Pepsi for bringing me here. We should have emptied it. Just faked it.
Put your tongue here.
How do I feel about having my youngest brother in Smo? It's cool. It's a double-edged sword, I want to say. It's great that he's here, great that he's experiencing the brotherhood, but it's also weird because it's like fly on the wall kind of shit. I can't, like when I tell him the worst of my stories, it's like any given moment in the next 15 years, he could tell my mom about anything that I say or do for the next 2 years in college. I'm particularly more worried about him seeing me on tour. What do I think about the freshmen? I think there's a less potential than I've seen in the past. I don't know. I gotta be honest. You know, some of them just aren't. I don't want to say they're not cutting it, but they gotta prove it. They gotta prove their worth. I guess that is all the questions we have now. So I'd like to say thanks for coming to the first episode of Sundays with Smo. If you have questions, tweet them to us at the Singing Men of Ohio on Twitter, hashtag Sundays with Smo, hashtag Your Singing Men of Ohio, hashtag Best Looking Guys on Campus. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.